Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Erica, and I'm here to talk to you about my stitching, no sewing, a ridiculous amount of haul, and a little bit about my garden. If you're new, welcome. I will put a timestamp below where you can go straight to the stitchy talk. I usually talk for a few minutes about life stuff at the beginning, and if you're returning, hi! I hope you guys are doing amazing. I am so excited it's almost fall. October is probably my favorite month of the year. Really kind of end of September to October just because of the leaves changing. Not that I had that in Florida for the first 30 years of my life, but just the kind of ushering in of fall. My birthday's in October, my kids' birthdays are in September, my wedding anniversary is September. Like, it's just a very busy couple of weeks for us, and it's always really fun and exciting, and I look forward to it every year. This is Flosstube 25. I actually wrote it down today so I wouldn't forget, and it is September 29th, 2019. My kids are with their father at McDonald's. My husband is home after almost 2 months. So that's nice. I can actually have some peace and quiet and get a little bit of stuff done and have the house to myself, which never ever happens. Let's see. I am going to talk a little bit about my garden, but I'm going to save that for the end of the video because I have pictures I want to include, and I don't know how to put pictures in the middle of a video. I just know how to put them at the very end, so I'm going to do that. Oh, that goes over here. I have so much stuff today, you guys. So much stuff. So I don't even really know if I have much stuff to chit-chat about. The week was great. The kids are great. We're back into homeschooling a little bit more than we were the last couple of months because we kind of took off for summer, and I just taught them all about gardening, and we did a nature scavenger hunt this week. Oh my gosh, my son is obsessed with it. So he just turned 4, and it was this 2-page black and white scavenger hunt I got off of Teachers Pay Teachers for I think $1. And I even laminated it and gave him a little clipboard, so it's so cute so you can walk around the neighborhood with this clipboard. And we have gone out. One of my favorite things in the whole world to do is to take very long walks, not so far distance, but time with the kids. So yesterday we walked for 2 hours, and we went to 3 different playgrounds, and this is the second time we've done it this week because we were trying to find all the stuff on his scavenger hunt. And I didn't really look at it beforehand. Well, I mean, I did, but I guess I just didn't understand how obsessive he was going to get with it, which I should have because he is my son. But there was things on there like a deer, which thankfully he thought we saw one driving the other day. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a pronghorn or antelope, but I'm like, oh yeah, that's a deer because I just want to cross it off the list. A beehive, which we're like never going to find here. I've never seen a beehive in real life. A frog and tadpole and worms, and I dug around the garden for worms with him. We didn't see any, but thankfully we found a frog yesterday. It was smushed, but I told him, I was like, you know, the scavenger hunt didn't say it had to be alive, so he was okay with that and circled it, and we found a worm. So that was really like the main thing we did this week was a scavenger hunt. I did one for my daughter too. Hers was just pictures like of a red leaf, yellow leaf, brown leaf, a squirrel, and she always goes, oh, when she sees squirrels because I always get mad when they're in the backyard, and so the kids know to like chase them away. Kindly, we don't hurt the squirrels. I love squirrels, just not burying their peanuts in my garden. Let me drink some more of my coffee before it gets cold and I make that awful face. Okay, I'm just gonna get right into it because I'm gonna do a WIP parade. Actually, it's not even a parade. Whatever a very, very short version of a parade would be, I'm gonna do like a WIP flash mob or something. I only have 7. I didn't realize I only had 7, and it kind of makes me want to start something new because I only have 7 WIPs, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to today. I'll say that. So the first 3 I'm going to show you guys are, oh, I need to write down the time. 4 minutes in. Okay, so the first 3 WIPs I'm going to show you are ones that I've actively worked on this week. So this is in my Halloween cross-stitch bag. My Etsy shop is linked below. And this is the Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. And I'm doing the whole series on one fabric. Oh my God, I just saw my haul right here. Oh, it's so amazing, it's so amazing. Okay. So last week I had worked just a little bit on the house. I think I really hadn't even touched this much last week, but I got a decent amount done. Mostly yesterday, I worked on the lettering, and then I started the white sign. The white is not the called for color. This is the only one that is not the called for. It's supposed to be ecru, but it just didn't pop enough on the fabric, and I think like this white pops too much. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to keep it because for snow, in my mind, I want really bright white. But I mentioned before, I'm trying to get it so that the shade or the sun's not blocked, that I originally started this using the DMC. And you guys, if you do this, you need 100% to do the Classic Colorworks. It is so beautiful using the called for Classic Colorworks. So that's the first one. And I worked on this last night for like 2 hours because I take off work from Friday night. I'll work up until Friday afternoon and then go to the post office after the kids nap. And so I take off from Friday night to Saturday night. I get 24 hours a week where I don't work. And I worked last night. I got fabric cut for 16 bags. But after that, it didn't take me too terribly long. I had a lot of it already cut. After that, I watched Poldark, season 5, which is not out in the US yet, but if you Google it, you will find it on Daily Motion. And yes, there's annoying commercials that come on like every 5 or 6 minutes, but I don't care. I will do whatever I have to see Poldark. Okay. I am on episode 5. There's only 8, so I'll finish it today. It's 3 episodes. I'm going to 100% finish it today. It is amazing. I was very into period pieces for a while and very into like the Victorian era, which this really isn't. This is before that, but just that kind of time frame and period pieces in general, Jane Austen specifically. But this Poldark is one of the best period pieces I have ever seen in my entire life, hands down. The remake, there was an original one in the 70s, and that one might be good as well, but I haven't seen that one yet. So if you're into period pieces, I think the first couple seasons are on Amazon. You might have to sign up for their PBS like extension of Amazon Prime. I don't know. I think it was like $6 a month, which reminds me I need to cancel it. They might have it on Netflix now too. Such a good show. I do eventually want to read the books. I have the first book, hard copy, and they also have the audiobooks, which I used to read all the time, and then I had kids, and then I had no free time. If anything, I would like to start listening to audiobooks again while I stitch. So, anyways, getting off topic. Okay, next one is the one that I forgot to bring up last week because this is my downstairs piece. So whenever I'm stitching things, I like to have an upstairs piece or multiple upstairs pieces. And something simple I can work on downstairs if the kids are watching cartoons or if they're playing nicely for the 5 minutes of the month that they're going to do that. And so that has been the Christmas Tree Farm by the Prairie Schooler. And I think it was Michelle, made by Michelle McGraw, who was working on this. And I had the pattern already, but when I saw her working on it, I was like, oh my God, I have to do it. Also, she is hosting a stitch along, and I don't really do stitch alongs. Like, I've never done one. I'm not going to host one. It's one more thing that I know I'm not going to keep up with, and if I'm not going to do it 100%, I'm not going to do it at all. But she is doing one that I'm going to try to participate in. It's the Epic Storybook style. If you go to her YouTube or her Instagram, I think both are made by Michelle McGraw. It is the Clouds Factory's Epic Storybook princess pattern. She's doing the full version of every single Disney princess ever. I would do just 1 or 2 columns. Like, I would probably do Beauty and the Beast, Frozen, Brave, stuff like that. Like, but they're small columns. They're really, really cute. So if you're interested at all in Disney, ooh, and I got some Disney haul, go check her out. Anyways, okay. This is gonna be like the longest video ever. But so much to show. So this is the progress I've made on this. I can see a finish in sight. This is the end of the pattern right here. So I just need to finish the border around. This is the last house to do. I think there's a truck and a fox and a bunny, some trees and some trees. And I'm doing it on 14 count opalescent Aida. Hopefully you can see it sparkling. Look how pretty. I got it from my local quilting shop, Ruth Stitchery. They also have a good amount of cross stitch. But I love it. I think it's so cute. And my only regret is I wish I would have moved this over. Like, this is an excessive amount of border for me. So I could have done another Prairie Schooler on that side, but whatever. I don't actually have another Prairie Schooler even picked out, so I'll do something on the other side. This Santa just gets me. He is just high-stepping with no cares in the world, and I love it. He's got a lot of swag for Santa. And Prairie Schooler's designs, I think, are so pretty. For some reason, they're very, like, 60s, retro, something or another to me. I don't know design. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ignore me. Okay, I think this will be my last sip before it's all cold. Ugh, it was already cold. Okay, next up we have my Tiny Modernist Medieval Castle. I have started over here on this side. This is available only through Lakeside Needlecraft. It was $15 and I got it as a PDF, so I printed it out immediately. Do not bother printing it in black and white. It is horrible. It's very hard to, the back stitching is literally impossible to see. So I didn't have any other options at the time. We didn't have a printer yet. I have one now, thank goodness. But I sent it to my husband at work, then all he could do was black and white. So is what it is. But when it comes to back stitching, I'm either gonna have to reprint it all in color or just pull it up on my phone, which is probably what I'll do because I don't want to waste paper. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I got some good amount of work done. Last week I commented on how beautiful the colors were on this. I mean, obviously you can't see the colors on the black and white picture, but even the color picture of it, the colors just didn't pop as much as they do in person. And I think that's really my surprise. Sorry, I know the camera's shaking. I'm trying not to be a clumsy fool. My surprise favorite thing about this pattern is just the beautiful colors and how not realistic, but kind of realistic it looks like for a castle, and all the details. Like this chimney alone had like 3 different colors of light brown and then the dark brown. So it's just there's a lot of depth to it. So this week I worked on this blue part up here and then the beginning of the queen's dress. She had a little heart on her dress. So the king will be next to her, and then there's like a candelabra, and I need to finish up all the castle. All of this inside is completely done. I think that's supposed to be like ham and grapes and a bowl of fruit. It's so cute. I need to finish the outside, but then I realized this is gonna be the gate to the castle, and then this part is gonna be like mirrored right here. So all these tiny little spots I had left of using like a specific color, I'm like, I'm not gonna pull out a whole length of floss to do this when I'm just gonna wait until the other part needs to be done too. Because I don't like having, I can't show you because of the pattern, but I have like all these loose threads everywhere and I can't stand it. Another thing that I'm a little concerned about with this pattern is this is the fabric that I hate. Bluebell, Jobelin, Even Weave, because it's rectangles. I need to get a picture uploaded. I just don't know if my camera will focus on it, so tiny. It is 1000% rectangles. And I am getting a little concerned that my top border is gonna be like a ½ inch. Let's not repeat the fiasco of my mom's 250-hour project that I ran out of border. It was like a ½ inch on each side. Thankfully the framer could still frame it, but this is the midpoint like right here. So I think I'll be, oh God, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be like an inch border. I'll sew some fabric to the top, like, I won't. I was gonna say like this week before I forget, I won't. I still don't have the charity pattern stitched. I was thinking about asking if somebody was interested in helping out, because I love doing these charity patterns. I have other patterns that I would like to design that are not charity patterns, but just for the shop. I don't have time. I should take that back. It's very hard for me to find the time to stitch on them. Obviously, I've done stitching this week, so I could have done nothing but the charity pattern this week, but I didn't want to. I wanted to work on these projects that I've been really enjoying. So I'm not making it official yet, but I'm thinking about potentially asking if anybody would like to be a charity stitcher for me, and I will send you all the materials, and then you just send it back to me so I can finish it, take photos of it, and then I'll even send it back to you to keep. I don't need to keep it. If I want one myself, I'll stitch it myself. But it's just, like I said, not official yet, so no volunteers, although I would appreciate it. But I'm just toying with that idea because I could produce more charity patterns if I didn't have to stitch them all. And I can't afford to pay to stitch or pay someone to model stitch it. But if someone wanted to do it and keep the pattern, I mean, they get to keep the finished product. I mean, model stitchers, they usually don't get to keep it. I think it would be a win-win. I would provide all the materials and you guys just stitch it and send it to me, and I send it back to you when I'm done. Oh, another Halloween bag. This is I think it's just called my Halloween bag, because I have a couple Halloween bags. One's a vintage Halloween, but this is just Halloween. So this is, okay, now we're getting into the WIPs that y'all ain't seen in a while, because I get very one-track mind, and when I start a new project, all my other ones get ignored. So this is my Halloween village. Oh my gosh. There's so many threads in there. It's Wanda's Wand Shop, and I haven't even started this one yet, but I have this one as the Haunted Mansion. So cute. I got this idea from Miss Oh So Crafty, who I am borderline obsessed with, and I really, if anybody in the world would do weekly Flosstubes, I wish it would be her. She did the Mill Hill bead kits as a Christmas village, and it was beautiful. And I want to say it did take her like 3 years. I think she did one house every quarter, so she would do 4 a year, and I think she did 12 total. So that makes me feel a little bit better about my progress. I have not worked on this, I think, since the last time I showed it. I still need to finish the beading and some backstitch, and even just some regular stitching, like in the trees and their pumpkin. There's a bead that's going to go here, and there's a little kitty cat. So it's really, really fun. The beading goes so slowly. Look at the little beads up here. It just goes so slowly that when I stitch, I want to feel like I'm making really good progress, and that doesn't happen on this. But when I do something like Jack Frost Tree Farm, I can get the entire letters and part of the sign done in one night, like I did last night, and I can be like, wow, I got a lot done. Okay, next up in my snow family bag, and I do have some of these still in the shop, is my Mirabilia. Now this one and the next WIP are the two that I really, really kind of want to get back onto soon. This is Cathedral Woods Goddess. Oh my God. Okay, so part of the reason why I was doing this WIP parade was because I figured once I actually saw them again, I would be like, okay, I need to stitch on this. And that's true. She's so beautiful. I love the colors, like the jewel tones. Look at the Krynic. This beading I'm gonna have to redo. It's not very secure, and I only did it because this was my first time working on 28 count on a real project. I practiced on it once or twice before, but I could not count all the way down there without messing it up, and I didn't have this color for her skin yet. So I'm gonna pull that, but oh my gosh, look at her antlers. My mom's like, I don't get it. Why does she have antlers? She's so pretty though, and she's gonna be a big girl. She's gonna go down to about there. This is just the top half of the pattern. So that's my Cathedral Woods Goddess, and I definitely miss working on her. All right, 2 more WIPs to go. This is my, I think it's Little House Needleworks. Let me see. Yes, Christmas Village. And I've just got threads everywhere and needles. Oh my goodness. This is the other one that I really want to get back to soon because the finish is in sight. Like, I want to start, and I have some haul, and I don't want to start anything until these WIPs are done, but part of me just wants to start some small things that I haven't had a finish in like 2 months. The last thing I finished was Quaker Halloween for Christine, and I miss having finishes, and I pick all these really big projects. So there's the Christmas Village. The bottom that I haven't really started yet is the Florist. And then everything else I've at least started, but I need to go back and do a lot of finishing. The only thing on here that is completely 100% finished is the firehouse up here. And let me show you a little bit closer. Look at the little Dalmatian. And I'm gonna take these French knots out and add red beads. And I'm gonna do beads for the snowflakes everywhere. There's the school. I need to finish that. Look at the kids building a snowman. The pet shop, need to finish, put some animals in the windows. The tree farm, I think, is pretty much finished. It just needs snow. I gotta add a lot of snow to this thing still. There's Grandma's house, and I need to add Grandpa still somewhere. There's the candy shop. I think that one's pretty close to a finish. Of course, lots of snow. The church, the train station, and that'll be the florist. And this is also done on 14 count. Okay, one more WIP, the one that I should really be working on, that I haven't in like 2 months. Okay. So this is Cooler Design Studios Fishing Nostalgia. And I'm doing this for my dad for either, it ain't gonna be done by his birthday. His birthday's November 5th. So it's gonna be for Christmas now. I had all these plans and goals of what sections to finish by what month, and that all went out the window because I have no focus when it comes to cross stitch. So, ooh, there's a pretty color. Obviously I need to finish the banner. This is the black and white photo of the guy fishing. There's tons of flies up here. I'm doing it on 14 count also, and 100% would not recommend doing that with Cooler Design Studio projects because there are so many corridor stitches that are very, very, very difficult to do on 14 count cloth. I should have done this on 28 count, but it was before I ventured into 28 count. And it'll look fine, it's just difficult. And so many color changes and so much back stitching. Oh my gosh, so much back stitching. But I know it'll look beautiful when it's done. I know my dad will love it. So I really need to get back to this, especially because I ain't got nothing else started for him for his for Christmas. So I need to make this happen for him. Oh, and I didn't show off this bag. I have I think I might have one or two of these left still. This one was really popular during the summer. My patriotic bag. Okay, let me get this stuff off the floor. All right, now I'm gonna move into some haul. I have a lot of haul. I tend to go through waves. I mentioned before my husband and I have a very strict budget. I say that because when my husband was out of town, apparently he did not have a budget, but I digress. We typically have a very strict budget, and when we get blow money. It's a Dave Ramsey thing. I actually don't really like him for a lot of his financial advice, but the idea of a blow money account helped my husband and I when we were first married 5 years ago with, why did you spend that much on that? And why, how much have you spent this month? And how many video games have you bought? And obviously that was just me complaining. And my husband's like, well, if it makes you happy, buy it. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not real life. Like, I can't just buy everything that makes me happy because we would be poor. So we came up with a set amount of money that we could each spend every month. And it's gone up and down throughout the years, depending on how much money we were making or if I was working. And it works so well. Like, there's really no arguing about money anymore. Well, there shouldn't be arguing about money anymore when we stick to the budget, because he has a set amount of money. If he wants to blow it all on one thing on the first of the month, which he has done before, go for it. But then you're not spending it in the rest of the month. And same with me. And so I have a very finite budget for cross-stitching things. If you guys will remember, like a month, 6 weeks ago, I accidentally spent way too much money on Halloween patterns. And I didn't really buy anything since then. And most of this haul came from a gift card I got to Fat Quarter Shop for my anniversary last week. So that's why you're gonna see a lot more than usual today. Okay, so first thing is this stitch gauge. I had seen Kimberly talk about it on Fat Quarter Shop, and I mean, I don't really need to know. It'll show you what size fabric you have on the bottom. Like, they have everything from 10 count up to 40 count, and you can just lay it on the fabric. Like, and line up the holes, and yeah, it'll show you if it's 28 count, which this is. But I really also got it because of the ruler, and I am that lazy that when I'm sitting down in my bed to start a project, I don't want to have to go walk 12 feet to get my big sewing ruler that's like 30 inches or something. So this is nice to just keep with my stitching stuff, so I can go down, 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches and start up in the corner. Okay, got a couple patterns. This is Little House Needleworks Pumpkin Hollow Farms. I've seen a lot of people do this already last year. And, some people, I think Priscilla and Chelsea, like, they only did the top half. I'm gonna do the whole thing. At first, I didn't love it, but I think after growing pumpkins this year and having a garden, I'm just obsessed with all things gardening. And I guess I can show you guys just the only fancy floss I got for it is this mocha to do the house, and everything else will be DMC, which, now that I say that out loud, worries me a little bit because, like I said with the Jack Frost Tree Farm, when I originally started that, I only did fancy floss for the main pieces and DMC for everything else, and it looked horrible. So I'm gonna really look at the colors closely before I start and make sure that the DMC would be sufficient, because I don't want to make that mistake again. But that one's super cute. This one also has become really popular because it's one, it's gorgeous, and two, it's in the background of Priscilla and Chelsea on Real Housewives. It is Plum Street Sampler's Cinnamon Stars. You guys, I am feeling a fall start in the worst way possible. Like, I'm gonna start one of these this week. I know it. And I also am doing the same with this, where I'm just doing fancy floss for this part of the house and the roof. And I can show you, I'll take them out of the back so you can see them a little bit better. I got 3. I don't know what the other one's supposed to go to. There's one, it's Sage. It's falling. Sage from Weeks Dye Works. Molasses. Oh, Sage is the house. Okay. Now that as soon as I said that, I remembered. So Sage is that center part of the house right there. And then Raven from Gentle Art, and Molasses from Weeks Dye Works. And that's the roof. I'm so obsessed. Look at the little scarecrow and the pumpkins and the sunflowers. Okay, so if any of you guys grow sunflowers, we grew a bunch this year. Everything from the tiny ones that are 3 feet tall up to the mammoth ones that are 12 feet tall. They all sucked. Like, they bloomed, and like a week later, their heads were like halfway to the ground, and they just looked depressing. And my husband and I kept giving each other a hard time, saying like, "Oh, that's the Travis sunflower. That's the Erica sunflower," and they were just depressing. I mean, I even tried to stake them and like pretty much hang them. Like, I would tie them to the fence behind them, and the heads just all pointing to the ground. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna grow sunflowers again because this is really just depressing to see. Next one is Harvest Time by the Prairie Schooler. I have been eyeing this one almost since I got back into stitching like a year ago now, only because of this top one. And then, oh gosh, I can't remember, Happy Wife, Stitching Wife, or Navy. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But she finishes so many beautiful things. And she finished this one recently, and I was like, oh, done, I gotta buy it. I wish I could see if I can get it to focus on that. Probably not, but look at how cute it is. The colors are just fantastic. The perfect fall pattern. I would probably eventually do the turkey, even though I'm a vegetarian, and the witch. And I would love to do this trio set like this. I just really wish designers would just design things that fit into standard frames. Anybody got time or money for custom frames for things? Okay. That was that was all the patterns that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. I got a ton of threads. Some of them I wanted to try out for ideas for patterns that I have to do. Like, this is Pumpkin Harvest. I hate it. It is like, what is it? It reminds me of some sort of candy or drink or something, but it does not look pumpkin-y at all to me. It's like, I don't know, just too pastel-y. Classic Colorworks Roasted Chestnut. I don't know what I got that for. It might be one of those patterns in there. I tried to go ahead and put the flosses in there that went to things. Classic Colorworks Bejeweled, you might be seeing at some point. It's so pretty. That one I really liked. Really Tealy. This one you might be seeing. It reminds me of the waters and the beach in Destin where we were just at. And Caribbean Waters. I really like this one too. I kind of like the brighter blue, but this one's also very Caribbean Waters to me. Not that I've been to the Caribbean, but what I would expect it to be. Weeks Dye Works Crepe Myrtle. Let's see. Weeks Dye Works Santa Cruz. That's a really pretty blue. And last one, Weeks Dye Works Twilight. Oh, I need a better way to show this to you guys. Very dark, variegated blue. So that was everything I got from Fat Quarter Shop. Now I'll show you what I got from eBay and 123 Stitch. So from 123 Stitch, I just got 3 things. These Weeks Dye Works, I have an idea for a Halloween pattern, which obviously I'm like cutting it super close, so I don't know if it'll be done this year or next year. But I wanted to try out these threads for it. Weeks Dye Works Trick or Treat. Oh my goodness. So that's just, yeah. Really like it. And like I said, I have a very cool idea. We'll see if it can actually play out in my, like how I see it in my head. I got the final pattern for Jack Frost Tree Farm, the cookies. And then I also got fabric for my Egyptian chatelaine. I can't wait to start that. And it is a lot of fabric because that thing is big. And it is nothing special. 28 count mushroom Lugana. I think this is the exact same thing I'm doing my Mirabilia on. And I love it. It's so easy to stitch on. I like the color. Like I like a nice neutral if I'm doing something really blingy or really big, like the Mirabilias or the chatelaines. Okay, so that's that. And I'll put the fabric back in the back so I don't want it to get all messed up. Okay, so 2 more things to show you guys for haul. I told you, I had a lot of haul this week. Okay, so this I also got from 123 Stitch. I have been eyeing these patterns also since the time I started getting back into cross stitch. They're Stoney Creek's Land of Enchantment. I have never seen anybody stitch these, but I love it. And it was like $7.95 and you get these 4 beautiful patterns. It's a freaking book. Whoops. But it's, you know, hefty book for a very good price. So the one that I like the most is this like princess with her horse. And it reminds me of, I don't know if it's a Mirabilia or Nora Corbett Snow Queen maybe? And she's got a horse behind her, a white horse. I love every single one of these, but that one's my favorite. And then I also really like this castle one. And I just thought it would be so pretty in my daughter's room, but honestly, even in my room. I just love them. Okay. Oh man, I left the other one downstairs. So, last thing to show you guys for haul. Last week, I mentioned in my Flosstube that I am currently obsessed with Disney Dreams cross stitch patterns. And they go for, you know, $200 to $1,000 on eBay, which is insane because I went deep into detective work, looking into when these patterns were produced, where they were sold at, when they were stopped, you know, being produced. And even in 2017, I saw people tagging on Instagram and in various Facebook groups like, oh my gosh, look what I got at clearance at Hobby Lobby. And it was a kit for like $10 that's now being sold for $300 on eBay. It is absurd. Anyways, that morning or right after the video, I got on Facebook Marketplace and guess what I found? A Disney Dreams cross stitch for $10 freaking. I texted the lady, oh my God, do you still have this? I'll be over there right now. I can have cash. I can give you more money, whatever you want. And she was like, yeah, I have it. Calm down, lady. So I went over there, like, I think it was 9:30. So it was like immediately after I finished Flosstube and fed the kids and we went on our merry way. And of course, out of all of the patterns that they had in the collection, it was the one that I would have least wanted to do. It was Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. And like I said, the kids downstairs, but I already listed it on eBay because at first my thought was I can trade it with somebody else. And then I asked around in some groups and go figure, people really don't want to part with their $200 patterns with somebody that they don't know. So then I was like, well, I'll sell it and use the money that I make from that to buy one that I really want. So I went ahead and bought one that I really wanted, even though the other one hasn't actually sold yet, but there's bids on it, so it'll be fine. I just could not believe my luck. And part of me, I hope that I don't regret selling it because who knows, like 10 years from now, maybe I'll be obsessed with Peter Pan and be like, oh my God, why did I get rid of that? But right now, I have zero desire to stitch it, and I have a lot of desire to stitch other patterns in the series. So I got this off of eBay, and it's one of the smaller ones. And so the full-size kits are 11 by 13, and they were only sold in kits, and the threads that come with the kits are not DMC. They are some other crappy threads that nobody likes. But I found a conversion chart to DMC online already, so I'm going to convert them all to DMC. But for every big pattern, they also had a small 5x7 vignette that was taken identical from the big pattern. So that's what this is. It is a small pattern taken from the big Beauty and the Beast one. So I really like, and I don't even know if I'm going to start this one yet because I really want to do the full-size Beauty and the Beast. you can see the castle. There's like the rose in the cage or the glass thing, but they go for like $200 to $400. So my Tinkerbell pattern ain't gonna sell for that much. So I would not be able to, I would not be able to buy this. Like, the only way I'll ever be able to buy this is if I win the lottery or I somehow luck out and find it on like Facebook Marketplace again. And I've never done full coverage, and I really don't like the idea of having to do full coverage. So that's why I was like, you know what? Let me just do the 5x7. And that would be enough for me. And so it did not come with the fabric, which I just now realized, but that's fine because I probably wouldn't use it anyways. And like I said, all the threads, look at this. How am I supposed to organize that? I'm not. I'm just gonna go use the DMC conversion. What is this? Oh, the needles. And it has some Kreinik in there. I haven't even opened the pattern up yet. Oh, goodness. Holy cannolis. Oh, it's only one page. I'll just flash it. Woo. So, I mean, it's definitely full coverage, but it's reasonable that I could actually finish it. Okay, and so they do have all the color list. I don't know if it even says the name of the brand of the thread that it is. And it was supposed to be separated out into bundles, and it's not, yeah. So I got this for a lot cheaper than they usually go for, and I can see why. Because it's kind of in pieces and whatever. I'll make it work. So that's it. That is my haul. That is my WIP parade. I'll do giveaway. Well, let me show this first. And then I'll do giveaways, and then I have something totally random to show you guys. You're either gonna love it or think I'm just so bizarre. So this is the current charity pattern. Oh no. That is up on Etsy. It is $2. It's called Halloween Visitor. It is this crow or raven, I don't know the difference, on a Ohio quilting block, because I love it, saying trick or treat. Look at the little candy pail in his mouth. And if you don't let him in, he's gonna come in anyways. I did a key, and it's an actual skeleton. So this is $2. 100% of that money goes to a local, I think it's called Whisker Haven Cat Charity. I actually only make $1.70 off of each pattern because it costs 20 cents to list it and then 10 cents in fees or something, but I'm gonna round up and pay the extra 30 cents and go ahead and donate that. Y'all, we've raised like 160 bucks. That is amazing to me. My goal was 100 and we far surpassed that. So this will be up just for a few more days. If you want to get it, please get it soon. The link is below. Like I said, $2. And hopefully the new one will be out soon. All right, so the giveaway for last week was one of the patterns I got in my Halloween pattern frenzy. And I got it mostly for that house in the middle. So cute. I would change the colors, just me personally, just to make it pop more. But it's a set of ornaments, and I loved it. And the winner is Loretta Henderson. So Miss Loretta, if you could please email me, my email's below. Just send me your address and I will get it out, hopefully this week. And the giveaway for today is kind of random, but I've had this for like 10 years and I ain't never gonna do it. It is a tote bag that I bought at some point, somewhere in my life, and it's cross stitch. Let me see if I can, see? It's like 14 count. Now, it will be I think the reason I never did it was because I was like, how, I guess you're gonna have to like go inside and like stitch like this. I don't know. But I mean, but how cute is that? Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't want to give this away, but I'm not gonna do it. And I think that would be so much fun. You could put Halloween design on there, you could put your kids' names on there, you could put your own name on there. Whatever you want to do. It's so cute. I've never seen this, cross-stitch canvas tote bag before. So if you would like this one, and also thank you to everyone who commented last week. I haven't gone through and liked them all yet, but I have read them all. And I asked for your guys' horror stories about like traveling with kids or just young kids in general. And you guys definitely made me feel better about my flight from heck with those kids 2 weeks ago. So I appreciate it. So this week, Let me think of a question. I should have written that down. I had everything else written down and I didn't have a question. And I've already asked what your favorite thing about fall, because I'm very into fall movies. What are your favorite fall or Halloween movies? And if you don't have that, favorite fall or Halloween books, favorite fall or Halloween recipes. One of those three things. Y'all can think of something. Your favorite fall-inspired book, movie, or recipe. Because I am feeling Halloween Town, because I'm 12, Hocus Pocus, Russian potato soup, and I can't think of any books that are fall related, but I'm sure y'all think of some because I haven't been reading lately. So please, if you would like to enter the giveaway, like the video, comment, and let me know your favorite fall inspired movie, book, or recipe, and be a subscriber. Oh my gosh, and I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. I was supposed to do a special giveaway because we hit, I don't have multiple personalities. I hit 4,000 subscribers last week. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much. I am just, people say this when they do Flosstube that, oh my God, it changed my life. Y'all, it's literally changed my life. I have received so many messages and made online friends and gotten surprise packages from people and started a business that is helping us pay to go to Disney in February. Oh my God, my husband's got to put his leave-in request tomorrow, and if it gets denied for some reason, I'm gonna just go without him. I can't. We have all the reservations made. My friend, who's a travel agent, has been working her butt off, got us the military rates and everything. Just Friday, I think they were released. He better get them leave dates. The Flosstube really and truly has changed my life, and it has just been so amazing. And I wanted to do something special for hitting 4,000 subscribers, and I'm actually looking at the fabric right now. I bought this fabric off of Etsy months ago when I first started getting into making project bags, and I was going to just make it for myself. I don't know where to find this fabric anymore. I don't know if it exists. It's a very small amount of it. It's the outer fabric, so I don't think I should. This one's in my shop too. The Christmas truck puppies. I have this fabric, but I don't. Oh, I can't show the. I don't have the inside fabric. The pattern is showing right there, so I can't show it. I have to go to Joann's either today or tomorrow to pick up fusible fleece. So while I'm there, I'll look for the inside fabric, and it'll be done next week. I'm so sorry, you guys. I constantly feel like I'm treading water. Like I'm trying to, keep up with homeschooling, keep up with my own personal self and working out and taking care of me and cross-stitching and working, and then now my husband's home, and it's been chaos. I also forgot I had this for all. 28 count Monaco tea coffee dyed. This might be my favorite fabric right now. And I mentioned that last week. I see why the Real Housewives love it so much. It is dirt cheap. It was like $6 for a 20 by 24 inches. I love the color. It's so easy to work on. I'm doing Jack Frost Tree Farm on it. Okay, so last thing I want to show you guys, and then I'm going to include some photos at the end. I posted pictures of the corn that I grew on Instagram and in a couple gardening groups, and it has got to be my most liked photo that I've ever posted. Apparently, my life is so boring that the most exciting thing about me in 35 years has been growing corn. To be fair, the corn is pretty magical. It's called glass gem corn. I saw the seeds on Baker Creek's website or catalog last year when I was getting into gardening, and I grew everything in a 6 by 2 foot plot. I've already got garden plans for next year. I'm going to expand it. I'm going to add probably 40 more square feet of gardening and plant some stuff out front, some vegetables. My husband's like, I don't want vegetables in the front yard. Well, I'm going to put vegetables in the front yard because he doesn't do anything with the garden, and he's not even going to notice if there's a pumpkin growing in the front yard. And I want blue pumpkins and green pumpkins next year. I did white this year, and I want orange, so I'm going to have 4 different kinds of pumpkins next year, whatever. I grew these all in a 6 by 2 foot space, so 12 square feet. I got 20 ears of corn that were fully formed and beautiful. There was maybe 6 or 7 that were too small because I crowded them in. I didn't space them out right. When I first started opening them maybe 2 weeks ago, they were all white still. And I was like, oh my God, did I get like dud seeds? Like none of these are gonna change colors. And then I opened one up like 3 or 4 days ago, and it was colored and beautiful. And then you're supposed to wait until the stalks turn brown, but I have the patience of my 4-year-old son, and I couldn't wait anymore. And they were all ready. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was the most exciting gardening day of my entire life. I already can't wait till next year. You open these, you husk the corn, and you have no idea what it's gonna look like inside. Is it going to be like this? yellows and blues and grays and blacks? Or is it going to be like this? Pink! Freaking pink corn. And, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. You guys, I'm like tearing up. Like, how corny. Get it? How corny am I? So they are for decoration only. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I am using them for decoration now. You can eat these for popcorn and grinding into cornmeal. People say you make some beautiful grits. Now the popcorn, when you pop it, it is not going to be vibrant in color, but if you look at a piece of popcorn, you know it's a white fluffy top on the bottom, and if you turn it over, you can see like the yellow kernels, or I don't know what they're called. They're not husks that get stuck in your teeth. Those are colors. So those will be blue and pink and purple. And I have another one. I mean, it was just amazing. My kids and I were screaming in the backyard as we were opening these. Like, we were just manic, like peeling off the husks as fast as possible. And then this one is the best. In the sunlight, it's so metallic and jewel toned. And I have had multiple people, message me on Facebook and Instagram asking to buy them, asking for the seeds, because like I said, I didn't know, but apparently this is extremely rare, this kind of blue in the glass gem. So, you know, I'm gonna use them as decor at first and dry them out. Look at that. And I have 16 more. I'm gonna include photos. Don't worry, I'm gonna include photos of them. But I'm gonna use them as decor, then take all the kernels off and use most of them for popcorn. I might try to grind some up and make grits with it and just see what it looks like, or cornbread. And then I'm going to save some seeds for next year, and specifically from this, because if I save these seeds, it should grow corn that looks like this, and if I save these, it should grow corn that looks like this. I got 3 of these ears all from one stalk. So gardening is the coolest thing I've ever done. I mean, having kids, but then gardening. And next year, I've already got, like I said, 20 seeds that I want to get off of Baker Creek. All these different color pumpkins, more corn, beans. Like, I grew pink beans this year, and Job's Tears. Okay, so I'm going to include a photo of Job's Tears. They're a high-protein grain that you can eat, and especially for, like, celiacs like me, I can't eat wheat, but this is a really cool alternative. Or you can dry them out and use them as jewelry. So on one of those photos I'll include, it'll be a purple tray. On one side, they look really green. Those are the ones that I just got off the plant. On the other side, they're like this beautiful translucent blue. Those are the ones that can be used as jewelry. And I'll include some photos of my corn and maybe some other random garden photos, but I just had to show those off because it's so cool to me. And I still can't believe I grew like a work of art. Like, they're so amazing. And then my friend tagged me in a Facebook post today about using pony beads and pipe cleaners and having kids make their own, they call it Indian corn. And I thought that was such a cute idea. And now there's also an Indian corn cross-stitch pattern on Etsy that I want to get. And I can like put all my stuff behind it. Okay, one of my longest videos ever. We're approaching 50 minutes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you enjoyed my little WIP flash mob and my haul, lots of haul. Pick up the charity pattern if you haven't done it already. I'm hoping to have lots of progress for you guys next week. No specific plans. I'm gonna start one of those fall patterns, not sure which one yet, and start stitching on my charity pattern for sure. And I think maybe go back to that Mirabilia because I'm feeling her. She is a beautiful lady. I think that's probably it. Should be a busy week. Should be a beautiful week. The garden's wrapping up, which I remember reading people like, oh, I'm so glad it's September. I'm so tired of the garden. And I was like, how could you feel tired of your garden? I get it. It's a lot. It takes me about 45 minutes to water, and I do that every other day. I have not used pesticides. I have used very little fertilizer. I did buy 3,000 ladybugs, 1,500 at 2 different times to help with the aphids, but we really haven't had any horrible issues. I had a lot of failures: sweet potatoes, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, some of my carrots, all my onions, but let's not get into that. I did plant 50 garlic bulbs last week, so those should be ready next summer. But it's been so fun, and I'm glad it's winding down because I'm gonna appreciate having my mornings back. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next weekend.